A lot of people know Dr. Joe because the teachings and the works that he does have proven that a lot of people have healed themselves from cancer, from diabetes, from anxiety, from depression. So when my husband and I, when Tutio and I were introduced to his work, it was more of a personal level, kind of like health, trying to figure it out, how to control those emotions. But when we actually got to get to know his work, we found out that it was more than just health. It goes beyond in every single step of your life. And that's why I'm very excited to share that with everybody. I know all of this is new. I know that this could also mean that I'm gonna be taking you guys out of your comfort zone. Dr. Joe and Tony and all these amazing people have great projects to help the younger generation, which is you guys. And I'm very excited that I have the honor to share these con ustedes because it's definitely a life-changing. Every parent wants their kid to get ahead in life faster. And you guys are not my children, but you're like my children. So I want the same thing for you guys, so you can get ahead in life faster. Okay, so thinking about your life and thinking about the cycles and the etapas that everybody has. I know that everybody who's here at this point has figured out that you want to do more in your life. And everything has a cycle, just like when the baby is born and it's a baby and then it becomes a toddler and then we go to kid and then teenager and all of that. So everything has a cycle, and as everybody knows, time goes by super fast. And there's so much that you can do in terms of being free or having fun or not taking responsibility for your financial and for your personal life. And my wish is definitely that you guys take everything that you're going to learn with Dr. Joe and the ones that are going to Tony Robbins in October for the UPW. I am just very excited. I can't wait to see all the beautiful things that are going to happen because at the end of the day, no matter how hard you work, you can work overtime every single day and you can work on the weekends. That's not the way to get wealthy. And it's definitely not the way to get healthy either. Working hard, it's not the answer to whatever you want to accomplish in life. Thinking that you have to work hard at something, it's not a strategy because at the end of the day, if you look around, the people that work the hardest are the people that are living paycheck to paycheck and that their health, it's not the best. And I don't want that for you guys. I really want the best because we have the new generations coming, which is your children. And at the end of the day, thinking really about like, okay, so if your cycle goes from 20 years old to 40 years old, you're a young adult, you're starting your family, you're doing all of this. And then from 40 to 60, like what is it that you accumulate in your life? Because at the end of the day, if we're not accumulating any wealth, guess what? We're gonna have to be depending on somebody else when our body is not able to sustain by themselves. And I don't and knowing the new generations is like we don't want that. We definitely want to be able to be independent. So that's why learning this kind of stuff at this young age, it is so, so, so important because working hard, it's not the answer. You guys know a lot of people that work very hard and they're broke. And I don't want you guys to end up like that. I really want you guys to be able to have health and to have the wealth that you deserve. But guess what? That requires a different type of thinking. Being wealthy and being healthy requires a different mindset. You're not able to accomplish new things with the same mindset that we have right now. And that's my biggest discovery that you can like and go to so many classes and workshops and read so many books and listen, but at the end of the day, what really makes the difference in people's lives when it comes down to health and wealth is your mindset. Your biggest obstacle, it's always going to be your beliefs. Your biggest obstacle, it's always going to be the way that you're thinking. And the biggest obstacle is also going to be your environment, the people that you hang out with. Um, sometimes in life, you have, not sometimes, in life, we always, listen to me, we always going to pay a price. And we either pay the price of regret or we pay the price of discipline. And having and being on your comfort zone, it is the best, but it's not really gonna pay off when you're older. There's so much that we can abuse our bodies. And I don't want to sound like an old lady right now, but I just really want you guys, and porque los quiero a todos, I just really want you guys to like sink in. There's so much that you can burn your body and abuse your body. There's just a limit. If you don't take consciousness of the actions that you're taking, either by the stuff that you eat, by the stuff that you drink, by the stuff that you smoke, whatever it is that you do to your body, let me tell you, karma is a fucking bitch. Okay, so what goes around comes around. And I don't want anybody to be dependent on anybody. I have one of my uncles, my mom's brother. He did drugs his whole life. He was always not on the right path, and the family tried to help him. But he just wouldn't listen. Estaba en su puro pinche mundo loco. He had a stroke about a month ago. And right now, my mom and my uncles and my aunties are the ones that are supporting him. He used diapers right now because he's not even able to go to the bathroom. So, lo bueno fuera is that we abuse our bodies and we die. That will be the best, you know? Then we just do so much to it. And it's like, fuck it. I'm like, drop dead. No, that's far from the truth. Most of the times we don't die and we become a burden to somebody else. So I'm sorry that I have to talk like this, but I just want to really raise the awareness of the actions that you guys are taking. You're not 15 anymore. You're not 20 anymore. I just really want you guys to be aware that whatever it is that you're doing right now, it's gonna pay the consequences, either good consequences or bad consequences. I had one of my coaches always tell me, Esmeralda, whatever you do right now, you're gonna pay the price in 6 months, in a year. Whatever you don't do right now, whatever stuff that you know you gotta do, but you don't do it, guess what? You're gonna pay the price within 6 months to a year. So either way, we gotta pay a price. So you guys choose if you pay the price of discipline or if you pay the price of regret. Because we know consciously what we want to do, but this guy right here, or subconscious mind, is our boss. Is where we have all the beliefs and you have all this programming. What happens when we don't update the phone? If we don't update the software of the phone, it just doesn't work. Human beings, 95% of human beings don't upgrade the software that we have, and most of human beings die without even updating, without even knowing they could update their software, which is their programming. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today in terms of the subconscious mind. Now, I am very curious, and you guys know me, and one of the goals that I have is get everybody out of your comfort zone. So that's my goal number one. because that's the only way you're gonna grow. The belief that we try to play it safe, and the belief that we don't want to have problems, and that we don't want to go through difficult decisions or difficult paths, that is BS. The only way you're gonna grow is by facing problems, by facing challenges, by facing things that are gonna make you get out of your comfort zone and grow. People that don't want to have any problems, people that are just in their comfort zone, they have a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. And most of the times, their emotions are not the best. They're either depressed, or they're angry, or they're not able to express their love to family members. So if you guys choose that path, believe me, by all means. But I know you guys don't, because everybody's here. The first thing that I want to start with is that next week, on Monday, we start the actual class. And we're going to do it at the barn. And we're going to do it as a group. And it's going to be a beautiful experience for everybody. Now, I know because of work schedules, not everybody's going to be able to go to every single one. So it's going to be for 3 weeks. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record the classes, so we can set up at a different time to meet everybody. Like maybe we can set up on a weekend or whatever. So we can all watch it again, because one of the keys, muchachos, it's the repetition. So, in order to have permanent change in your life, whatever it is that you are going to commit to do, it's going to require repetition. There's a big, big, big gap that you guys were going to be able to close. So, where you are to where you want to be, like there's a gap, right? So, you're here and what you want is here, there's separation. The repetition is the key. Y déjenme les digo desde un principio. However old you are, I don't know if you're 20, 30, 25, 27, whatever age you have right now, the programming that you have, it's not gonna change in 3 weeks or 3 months. It's gonna change in time, and that requires muchos huevos. That requires a lot of patience and a lot of hunger, because in order to change your life, there has to be changes to be done in your daily habits, your friendships, the way that you present yourself. And that is fucking uncomfortable. I'm telling you, it is uncomfortable. You know why? Because everybody right now has an identity. Jorge knows who he thinks he are. Like Georgie has an identity based on his past. Whatever Georgie thinks he's able to do or not do is stuck with him on his subconscious mind. And for him to believe in himself, fuck, it's gonna take a lot of fucking eggs. Un chingo de huevos. I can believe in him. Josie can believe in him. Lily can believe in him. Steph can believe in him. Kimi can believe in him. Josue can believe in him. The fucking problem is him believing in himself, because he knows who he is up until this point. Same thing goes for everybody. Todos tienen una identity. You know who you think you are. And that is based on the past. The past up until now, it's gonna define who you think you are and what you think you can achieve. And because the past most of the time has a lot of stuff that are negative, that stuff that hurts you, it is very difficult to create a new future, bringing the past to the present. Am I making sense? The identity that you have right now, it's based on what happened in your life in the past. Whatever your mom told you, whatever your dad told you, whatever your girlfriend told you, whatever your friends told you, everything that happened in your life up until now is in the past. And you believe whatever happened because guess what? You have fucking proof of it. You know you screw, you know you did this, you know all these crap. So you have proof of everything that happened in your life in the past. And that decides and that makes up your thoughts about the future. Okay? 95% of people create their future based on the past. Oh, es que no fui a la escuela. Oh, it's because I'm this. Oh, it's because I'm shy. Oh, it's because I'm not doing this. Oh, it's because I am. Everybody has an I am. You can do certain things because you am or you did or something happened in your past. In order to have a different future, we need to let go of the past. It's easier said than done. It is not easy to do that because your environment reminds us all the time qué podemos hacer y qué no podemos hacer. Or loved ones, or loved ones, or family and friends, the people that most love us are the people that does not want us to get hurt or fail. So the comments from loved ones are the first ones that stopped us from becoming a new identity, a new self. So these paths, it's so fucking worth it, but it's not easy. And it's gonna require a lot of huevos to stick with it because it is very uncomfortable. The next time we have a class or the next time something is going on, because you guys already have this seed plan, it's already on your subconscious mind since the last time that we met. So in your head, it's already like, oh, okay, I mean, mi tía y mi tío han hecho esto, ellos están diciendo esto. It's like, oh, fuck, tienen la espinita ya está. So I'm super happy for that. La espinita ya está. But that's going to require a lot of persistence and a lot of being uncomfortable because in order to have a new future, we need to create a new identity. But the biggest obstacle is that to create a new identity, you need to believe in something that you do not see. You need to have faith. In order to create a new identity for yourself or for your family, you have to be able to have faith. Faith and fear, both of them starts with an F. Okay? Faith and fear, both of them are in your head. It's the F. You choose if you focus on fear or if you focus on faith. Because the future, it's only going to happen if you let go of the past. Am I making sense? Okay. I had gone to a lot of trainings, a lot of classes. My husband and I have done a lot of work in our personal development. And I couldn't find what was the quick, easy way to change. I was in my own quest to figure it out what was the easiest path to make a change in life. And I did not find that answer until I met Dr. Joey Spencer. And what you guys are going to learn today is just an intro, okay? Next week, you're really going to deep in into what it's like to have this shortcut to make the change. Dr. Joe gave me the answer that I was looking for on how I can speed up the process. I know it takes time. I know beliefs. I know environments. Like, but fuck, like I need to like make it happen. I want to make it happen fast. I was able to learn that through Dr. Joe. So all the strategies that I have learned with Tony Robbins, with all of my other mentors, I'm able to quantify those results faster because of Dr. Joe's teachings. Okay. Let me share my screen, and then let's start by sharing the following. Are you guys able to see my screen? Georgie, you're the only one that I can see right now. So are you able to see my screen? Okay, so the first thing that I want you guys to remember is that you have three minds. Now, science, this is not stuff that Esmeralda made up. Science has proven that we have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and an unconscious mind. Your mind, it's not your brain. Your mind is not your brain. Because when you have a feeling of fear or love, you just don't feel it in the head. You feel it in the whole body. Like you just don't feel afraid on your head. It's like it's a feeling that you have in your whole body. So your mind is your whole body. It's not on your brain. But because we're human beings, we need to have a visual image of what we're talking about. That's why my teachers had made it very simple to understand our minds. So when you guys see me touch my forehead, I'm talking about my conscious mind. What is my conscious mind? We're going to go to Georgie's conscious mind. The conscious mind is the one that says, okay, Georgie, we're going to wake up at 5 a.m. and we're going to go for a run. That's his conscious mind talking to him, knowing the right thing to do, like knowing what I have to do. But his boss is his subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is the one that takes over. And the subconscious mind is the one that's responsible for the results that you have in your life so far. Okay? Your subconscious mind, think of it as like your programming, like any computer has a software. So your subconscious mind is your software, that's your programming, even before you were born. When you were in your mom's tummy, any beliefs that she had, any feelings that she had, anything that she went through while you were in her tummy, you absorb all of that. Children between the ages of 0 to 7 have a very limited conscious mind. They believe anything that you tell them. So if you tell them they're toxic, if you tell them they're lazy, if you even if we say it unconsciously or because we're joking, watch out because those words get stuck in the subconscious mind. Whatever you tell your kid who's under 7 years old, that phrase, that word is gonna get stuck in their subconscious mind. So don't even say it joking. Don't even say it like if we're upset or we're mad and we're yelling at them. No, we gotta be very careful with the words that we're using. From age 7 up until age what is it? I think it's 17 or 16. I don't have the years with me right now. But that's when the identity and the conscious mind is kicking in. That's when the kid is thinking, it's like, wait, but my dad said don't drink or drinking is bad, but he's drinking. Or wait, my teacher said don't do this, but I saw her doing it. So their conscious mind start kicking in and they start talking like adults and they start like telling us, uno le dice algo y te responden. And you're like, shut up, I'm your mother. You do this because I tell you to. And they start keep talking back at us because their conscious mind and their brain is starting to make sense what life is about. Okay, so the subconscious mind up to, listen to me, up to age 31, if a human being doesn't become aware of how important it is to know the beliefs that we have by age 31, it is most difficult for that human being to make a change. Because they already know, they already went through so much stuff, they already saw their parents going through so much, and they already have so many beliefs about what life is and what life is not. Okay? And then we have our unconscious mind. Remember, our unconscious mind does not think or remember. Our unconscious mind, it's our feeling mind. It's the animal side of us. What does an animal do? An animal only looks for pleasure, and an animal only looks to get away from pain. An animal doesn't think. The animal just act based on the emotion. So your unconscious mind job is to get you closer to whatever you think pleasure is, and it's supposed to get you away from whatever you think is pain. Okay? Let's use alcohol for instance. Consciously, you know alcohol makes you fat. You consciously know alcohol is not good for you. Like consciously, you know all of these things about alcohol, but you still go out and you're like, oh, fuck, I can hold it. Like I want a michelada, or I want this, or I want that. Okay? Because your unconscious mind's job is to get you closer to whatever gives you pleasure. That's why it is so fucking difficult to stop drinking, or if you did drugs, it's so fucking hard to stop the addiction because you feel pleasure. And if you're in a very toxic environment where you don't feel love, and we're not going to talk about human needs right now, but if you don't feel that loving connection from your parents, from your siblings, if you don't feel accepted, if you feel like you haven't done what everybody else is expecting you to do, of course you want to get out of that state and get drunk or get high to forget about that shit. You just want to feel good. That's your unconscious mind kicking in. Its job, it's only to get you away from pain and closer to pleasure. When someone wants to get rid of an addiction, when even hasta el pan o la coca, like I don't care, the tacos, whatever it is. And when we think like, I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop, I'm going to stop, you're only going to stop for a short period of time. Because there's so much pain that the body can handle. Okay? The way to stop an addiction is to find an activity that replaces the adrenaline that you feel when you get drunk. The way to stop an addiction is to replace what's giving you pleasure for something else that is also going to give you that pleasure. But most people, most human beings, we don't know this. So we just try to use our will to stop doing something that we know we shouldn't be doing. But that doesn't fucking work. It's like if somebody else, it's like manipulating you. You want to do something, but something doesn't let you do it. Let's go to the subconscious mind. You see that next to boss, it said stories, beliefs, habits, and paradigm. Okay, so your subconscious mind has stories. Those stories became beliefs. Those beliefs became habits, and those habits are paradigms. What is a paradigm? You don't have to even think where to go when you go to work because the path and the road, you already memorize it by heart. So you don't even have to think about it. You can be thinking about other stuff and you get to work. You don't even know how, but you got to work. So everything starts with a story. Let's talk about Mexican stories. Las tortillas, el chile, la agua. Si no hay salsa, la comida no sabe buena, decía mi mamá.
Mm.
Si no están las tortillas, esto no sabe bueno. That made a belief that if I eat sopa or carne asada without chile, it's not gonna taste good. That led to the habit of always doing it. And that gave us the paradigm. So if we go with the alcohol, the story began when you felt so much pleasure doing this activity. That gave you that belief. Let's say when you go out to eat in a restaurant or whatever, you created these patterns of stories, beliefs, and habits. So you have a belief about alcohol, about tortillas, about
Mhm.
whatever that links with your unconscious mind as pleasure.
Mhm.
One of my stories is that I hate vegetables. Vegetables taste horrible. So anytime my mom wanted to give me albondigas, I will literally throw up
Mm.
because I link a pain with my unconscious mind with albóndigas, but los papitas con chile y limón, my goodness, because desde que estaba chiquita, my uncles will take me to the store and will buy these papitas with a lot of chile and a lot of, oh
Flesh.
my God, it just gave me so much pleasure. Y hasta se me hizo agua la boca, ¿vieron? Crazy still works. So do you see how the story became a belief, the belief became a habit, and the habit became a paradigm? But that marries with either pain or pleasure. So if your story with alcohol is linked to pleasure, your body is always gonna take over your conscious mind, no matter how much you're thinking or how much you're reading. If you don't understand this concept, your body is always gonna take control over you because the powerful beliefs and stories and the that whether that gave me pleasure or gave me pain.
Mhm.
Your generation, your generation, you guys have the most pressure out of all the other generations, and it's going to be more challenging for you guys to get ahead of your mind. And the reason why is because you guys have the internet and we have social media, something that your parents didn't have when they were dealing with their own stuff. What happens with social media and the internet, it's that repetition. Every time you see the picture of your friends going out and having that michelada,
Mhm.
that image gets stuck. Every time you scroll down and you see that Gucci purse, or if you see like
Mhm.
somebody getting high, whatever it is, it takes, listen, it takes 16 touches. 16 touches for someone to take action on a new idea that was programmed on your subconscious mind. Les voy a dar the best story of my life. My mom. Oh my God, you guys are gonna love this story. So, as you know, we're Catholic, right? So mi mamá va a misa, and this was like 4 years ago. So she goes to church, and then everything's like that. And then we're cooking, and then we're just chatting, we're talking, and she's like, "Yeah, sí es cierto lo que dijo el padre." But look at my body language, así, like, "Yeah, it's true what the padre said in misa." And I'm like, "Oh, ¿qué dijo, ma?" He said that by the time we get 60, it's like we nos enfermamos, and then the body start deteriorating, y que ya no ve. Like, no, but her body language is like, no, yes, that's true. And then I just stop, like literally, because I know this, right? So I just stop and I look at her and I say, so you're telling me that in 4 more years ya vas a estar toda para la fregada y ya vas a estar toda viejita and you're not, y se queda, wait, no? Le digo, Mom, you just said it that you agree with what the father said. And you're in 4 more years, you're gonna be 60. So she woke up. Why am I sharing this story with you guys? Because every single time you're listening to other people tell you how difficult life is, how hard it is to keep your paycheck, how expensive life is. Every time you let other people go into your subconscious mind without thinking what the hell they're saying, those are new beliefs that are getting stuck in your subconscious mind without you even noticing. Isn't making sense. So whatever tu comadre o tu hermana o tu tía, whatever it's saying, it's like, yeah, it's good for you, but not for me. Se lo tienes que decir, ni madres. Just say it to yourself, like, that's your belief. I respect that, but that's not my belief. So the minute that you're talking to yourself, you're gonna stop feeding on your subconscious mind stuff that does not serve you. Because are we gonna get rid of all the people in your life tomorrow? No, ni madres, that's not gonna happen. But you gotta be able to put a stop to what they're saying, because in order for you to become financially successful and healthy, it is a mindset shift. It's not working overtime. It's not killing yourself, eating a lot of vegetables. It's not about like doing all these crazy things that is like suffering and I have to do this. That's not the way to do it. That's just not. Tell me who has been successful from doing that. Nobody. Nobody. It requires a different mindset. ¿Por qué les estoy diciendo esto? Okay. You guys are going to learn how to meditate next week, okay? The shortcut that I learned with Dr. Joe is that by doing certain breathing techniques and by meditating, that is a shortcut to make a change faster in your life. And the reason why is because with your eyes open, you can see you don't have no money in your bank account. The reason why is when you have your eyes open, you can see that you're so freaking overweight. And when you open your, like, say you all this shit that you don't want, that it's right there. So we cannot, que les dije, we cannot make a change thinking and feeling in the past. However, the past is our present. So that's what we're facing right now. So in order to make that change faster, we need to be able to not see what affects you right now. You guys are going to learn how to breathe, and you guys are going to learn how to meditate. And that is because by doing this exercise, you're going to stop forcing yourself to make a change. The more you put pressure in something, the more that's gonna push back. The more you're thinking you gotta change, the more your body feels pain and it's gonna wanna pull back because your body wants to take you away from pain and closer to pleasure. When we do the meditations, we surrender to the present moment. And the only way to create a different future, it's being able to be in the present moment. When someone is able to heal themselves from cancer, is when that person is able to forget for some moments all the shit that happened on his or her life in the past. And when that person is able to be present in the moment, feel their body, feel their heart, feel their brain, and be grateful for being alive. When someone is able to create an abundance of money of life, is when that person is in the present moment and feels so freaking wealthy because it's just the present moment and you're able to feel your breath, feel your heart, feel your body. We can't change the future unless we feel different in the present moment. And to do that with the eyes open is very hard to do because you see all the things that you don't like about your life and about yourself. So these shortcut you that you guys are gonna learn next week is gonna get you guys ahead in life because the real shortcut to cut the time between where you are and what you want to get to, it's in the present moment because you can only attract a different future if you let go of the past. And how can you let go of the past? Of being in the present moment. There's science behind these guys. Dr. Joe is a doctor and he has done a lot of work and a lot of research, and this is not taboo. This is science. And I'm going to show you guys what we're going to be doing next week. Um, so we have your beautiful brain. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay. Wi-Fi. We don't see it and we don't touch it. However, we can feel it. If I get to the office super mad or super happy, guess what? Georgie doesn't need to ask me how I feel. He can sense my energy if I'm freaking like mad or if I'm happy. When Josue gets home, he doesn't have to tell Josie how he's feeling. She knows. Like with a look or with this, like you feel what the hell is going on. Like if my mom texts me, like by the text, I can feel if she's pissed off or if she's happy, right? Energy, it's something that we don't see and we don't touch, but it is the number one responsible for what we're attracting in your life. Energy, like Wi-Fi, it's working all the time. And most of the time for human beings, it's working against you. Why? Because you're focusing on all the things that you don't want. And because you're focusing on all the things that you want, you feel like crap. And because you feel like crap, you're vibrating very low. And guess what? That's going to bring you more of what you're thinking. There's a phrase that says, we become what we think about, you like it or not. You feel like crap. You feel like you don't have money. You feel like so depressed. More depressing stuff is going to get to your life by law because that's what you're thinking and that's how you're feeling. That's what by law you're going to attract. So energy is very, very important, just like the Wi-Fi. If you learn how to use energy, ya chingaron. But if you don't learn how to use your energy, it's gonna take you longer to get to where you wanna get. Okay? That being said, I'm not gonna go over your whole body. I'm just gonna go over what I really want you to have in mind for next week. So this is your beautiful brain. Let me go down. This is your beautiful brain. This is your beautiful heart. This is your brain. Okay, this is what I want to focus right now. So, if you guys see the skeleton and you see the spinal cord, do you guys see how in the bottom of the los genitales or sexual side, hasta abajo, you guys see how it starts with the color purple, right? And then it goes up, and then you see how in the middle of the spinal cord, there is a yellow line. That yellow line goes all the way up to your brain. Georgie, you're the only one I'm able to see. Are you seeing this? Okay, so if we go on this yellow line on the spinal cord up onto our brain, that gets connected to these key areas of your brain. But what I really want you to focus right now, it's in the pineal gland. The pineal gland is this tiny, 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 tiny blue part here in this area. You see the pointing green que está aquí, that is our pineal gland. I want you guys to do research on your pineal gland. I really want you guys to look up what it is and what it does. And you're going to be very, very surprised to find out what this little tiny part of our brain does. So, your pineal gland is your antenna. Okay, the pineal gland is your antenna that brings the signal of vibration of energies to your life. I know this is like I'm talking a lot of stuff, but it's gonna make more sense next week. So when we do breathing that involves pulling up the energy from your perineo, I forgot how it's said in English, but from this area right here up onto the brain, there's a fluid that we have on the spinal cord that gets sucked into your pineal gland, that little tiny thing that I'm showing you. And when we're able to do that, it generates a different vibration that helps you get out of yourself and start feeling yourself. Okay, let me explain that again. Ahora dejen quitar la imagen. Okay, so you guys are going to learn how to do this breathing technique next week. And you guys are going to learn how to meditate. And that meditation is going to be a reprogramming of your subconscious mind. The reason why I started explaining the three minds is because I want you guys to have an understanding. So next week, you understand why we're doing what we're doing, because the doctor doesn't go into deep on little things. And for me, I really wanted you guys to have an understanding of this. So next week, when he starts making you do these things, it makes more sense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold on allá abajito, como si tienes ganas de hacer pipí. You're gonna have to hold it. When you're holding it arriba, como si te fuera a salir la pipi, you really have to hold that guy. Tienes que like hold your breath. Como si tuvieras un popote. You have to like breathe in and then bring the energy up. You literally feel it, how the energy goes on your spinal cord every time you inhale and you hold that breath. When you hold the breath, in the meditation, the doctor says, pump it, because you need to holding it, bring it up to your brain, and literally, if you do it the right way, it's gonna feel like you had a fantastic orgasm. It is going to feel where you let that air go out. Some people, ¿cómo se dice? Pujan, because it's like, fuck, you're literally letting it out. And that creates an energy and activates your neurons on your brain. And I had passed out several times from doing the breathing. It's normal to feel dizzy. It's normal to pass out because your brain is not used to get this amount of energy and oxygen. Now, what's happening when we're doing this? Josie lo hizo on Sunday, so that's why she's laughing. But when you're doing this breathing, you're not thinking about your past and you're not thinking about your future. You're in the present moment. You're focusing en estar jalando el aquellito de abajo, en estar subiendo la respiración, estar holding it, estar pumping it. You're like literally having the best time of your life. And guess what? Because we have the eyes covered, you don't worry about who's watching you or who's like, no, you're on your own. Y hasta el doctor dice, you're making love to your brain. It's just amazing because you are giving your brain the oxygen that it hadn't had maybe since you were born. Does that make sense? So for about 5 to 7 minutes, we're doing this breathing technique. And then from there, we start the meditation, which the meditation has a very special music that it's meant to work your brain waves. I don't have the time to talk about all the stuff that I want to talk, but your brain waves. And it's going to start giving you affirmations, and it's going to start talking to your subconscious mind. And because you're so freaking tired from the breathing and you're like, your body's all relaxed, guess what's happening? You're just listening. And that is the process of reprogramming your subconscious mind faster. So next week, you guys are going to learn more about why we're doing the breathing, why we're doing the meditations, and how this strategy is going to help you get closer to what you want to get. Because at the end of the day, you are 99.9999999% energy. And energy brings more energy. If you really want to bring wealth to your life, you gotta vibrate at a different level. You gotta think at a different level, but that's only gonna happen if your brain has the oxygen and if you're clear and know how to manage your emotions. The number one factor of depression and anxiety and suicide is people not being able to control their emotions, men or women. You don't control your emotions, you feel like freaking crap, and you're not able to have the self-talk, and you don't know how your body works and do this kind of stuff, there's like, you're not gonna see any opportunities, and you're just gonna feel like crap, and more crappy things are gonna happen in your life. So the emotions are the number one factor of the stress of all these diseases. And by doing this work and understanding more of your brain, getting to know your heart, getting to know your spinal cord, getting to know your body and how to work with it, is like, fuck, it's gonna get you ahead of the game. No pressure, no forcing, no, just being in the present moment with yourself and doing what is gonna take a lot of huevos to do, because it's something new and something uncomfortable, and it's gonna require a lot of hunger. It's gonna require a lot of hunger. I had a client that she had been prescribed blood pressure medicine for 20 years. She did the work with me. She took one of my courses last year for 3 months. The doctor took the medicine away from her because all her levels was fine. She was like on it. She stopped. She went back to those emotions of the past and thinking like a victim. And oh, guess what? She had to take the medicine again. This is something that it's for life. It's just like how we gotta brush your teeth, just how we gotta clean every time we go to the bathroom and we poop. It's like that's those kind of things that we gotta be able to do it for life, unfortunately. Okay, I wish I had more time to go over the whole presentation, but I don't.